Today I'm going to make one of my favorite fall recipes, a pumpkin roll. First, we're going to make the cake part of the pumpkin roll. You'll need 3 eggs. I'm going to be making 3 rolls, so I have 9 eggs. You'll also need 1 teaspoon of baking soda, some pumpkin puree, pumpkin spice, cinnamon, and some nutmeg, all-purpose flour, and some sugar. That's all you'll need for the cake part of your pumpkin roll. I'm going to be using the whole nut for my nutmeg. I like to grate this fresh into my recipes. It just gives it that extra fresh of flavor. So this is my little nutmeg. All right, first step, get out your mixer and mix up your sugar, your eggs, and your pumpkin puree. First, I'm going to start with my 1/2 cup of sugar. This is raw sugar. Then add 3 eggs. I have my sweet little helpers here to help me get those eggs in the bowl.
It's okay, Dad. Mama, it was an accident.
Don't ever be afraid to let those kiddos help. There are messes that are made and things don't always go perfectly when little hands are involved, but the memories that are made are well worth the effort. There's our 1/2 cup of sugar and our 3 eggs beaten together. Now we're going to add our 2/3 of a cup of pumpkin puree.
Does it look yummy?
Yes. I said it.
Now we're going to add all of our dry ingredients in a bowl and mix those up. First, the 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, and our 1 teaspoon of nutmeg. Now we're going to get all of that mixed together really well, and we're going to add it to our wet ingredients and give that a mix. Now you're going to get out your jelly roll pan, which is an 11 by 15 inch baking sheet. Line that with parchment paper and make sure you're preheating your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which is approximately 180 degrees Celsius if you're one of my beautiful overseas friends. Now we're going to pour our cake mix onto this jelly roll pan, and we are going to take our spatula and spread it all out evenly. It's going to be a very, very thin layer of cake, and it's going to work out perfectly. Trust the process. There it is, and when our oven is preheated, we're going to pop that in for, my recipe book says 10 minutes. However, it usually takes me closer to 20 in my oven, so just judge it according to your oven. You want it just done like a cake. I have another sweet helper helping me out right now. I am making 3 of these today. One is going to be for us to enjoy our hard work tonight, and then one of them is for my in-laws, and then another is going to be frozen for Thanksgiving. This recipe freezes really well. Next, you're going to need a tea towel, and I recommend a thin tea towel. I just feel like it works so much better when it's thin. And you're going to want to put either some flour or some powdered sugar on this so that your cake doesn't stick to it. So I've coated this very thinly in some flour. All right, now our pumpkin cake is out of the oven, and I'm very carefully going to get this very hot cake out of this pan and flip it upside down onto our tea towel. You really want to do this part when it's good and piping hot, because it needs to be hot to be rolled and keep the shape that we need it to keep. Now you're going to take that tea towel, you're going to fold it over, and you're going to roll this cake up into a roll. At this point, you can roll it either way, lengthwise or height-wise. It doesn't matter. It just depends on how thick you want it. When I want it to feed a crowd, I'll go lengthwise. It's thinner, but it's longer, and you can cut more pieces. But if you want a good fat one, be sure to do it like I'm doing this one right here. Now this thoroughly has to cool for at least 1 hour. Now we're working on that third pumpkin roll. I just have all of the sweet helpers around here. If this is your first time here, we are a large family of 8 people. I have 6 sweet kiddos, and we homeschool, and we love Jesus, and we do all the things here. And I love to include as many of them as want to be included in these kind of tasks. So we're all taking turns. It was on high demand to be involved today.
Let's not. Oh, sure, do it.
No, it's okay.
He asked if he could turn the mixer all the way up to 10 to see what happened, and that was a very exciting moment. So he ran off to talk about it to his siblings. Here's my Mr. 12. He wanted to help too, because you're never too old to help Mom make all of the yummy things in the kitchen. I am all things pumpkin spice, and I love it. And I have to say, I'm giving you the recipe as per my pumpkin cookbook, but when I make this, I double the spices.
What is your guys' obsession with making it go faster? I'll do it. 10!
Must be a boy thing. How fast can the mixer go? Now it's time to mix up all of that really yummy cream cheese filling. We're going to need 1/2 cup of butter or 1 stick softened, 1 8-ounce package of cream cheese, 1/2 cup of powdered sugar, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1/2 a juice of a lemon. First, you're going to beat together your cream cheese and your softened butter. Remember, melted butter is not softened butter. So try to make sure that you've let your butter get to room temperature. We're going to beat these together first. Now I have my 1/2 cup of powdered sugar, my 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and my 1/2 a juice of lemon. We're going to add those into our cream cheese butter mixture. My 3-year-old was so excited to push that button, so she had to help. All right, now that this is cooled for an hour, you're gently going to unroll it, and we're going to get out that cream cheese filling, and we're going to fill our roll. My roll is a little bit denser than perhaps I would like it because I had those sweet boys over mixing it by putting the mixer on 10. If you overmix your batter, it will break the proteins up and make your cake not quite as fluffy. However, all of the flavor will still be there, and for me, completely worth it because they got so much joy out of turning that mixer up to 10. But it isn't quite as fluffy as it would be if it hadn't been overmixed. All right, now I'm going to get this roll filled with all of this good cream cheese. If your cake were to crack or even fully break at this point, don't worry. It all will stick back together when you roll it back up because of all of that yummy icing. It's not a fail. It'll still taste really good, even if it's a little broken. But at this point, just be as gentle as you possibly can. All right, now we're going to roll it back up. This is the most satisfying part because we're almost done. At this point, you can wrap it up and put it in your fridge to cool down to eat for later, or you can wrap it up really well for your freezer and put it away for another day. Like I said, it freezes fantastically, so don't be afraid to make a lot of these. I am going to wrap this one in parchment paper, and then I'm going to wrap it in tin foil, and then I'm going to wrap it in saran wrap just to make sure that it does not get freezer burned and it keeps all that fantastic flavor. Here is roll number 2. I wanted wanted to show you the difference between rolling it lengthwise and rolling it widthwise. So you can see one is fatter and shorter and one is thinner and longer. The thinner and longer feeds a crowd, but the fatter and shorter kind of looks nicer. So it depends on what you're going for and who you need to feed. With me having 6 children, I need as many of these slices as possible. This is the long length one, and as you can see, it's more than sufficient. I hope you learned how to make all of the wonderful pumpkin rolls this fall, and until next time, guys, bye.